Yo, what is going on, everybody? You have Tone here, the coach of the Miami Malamarlins, and I am bringing you guys today the team builder and battle for week number 1 of season 1 of the PBL. The Pseudo Battle League is in full swing. If you guys did miss my draft analysis, the link and stuff will be in the description down below. Be sure to check that out. But for those of you who want to bypass that, you see our team on the top with our drafted mons being the Blacephalon, Ferrothorn, Crocodile, Comfey, Venomoth, Electrode, Mega Gallade, Slowbro, Kamala, Haxorus, and Braviary. The one thing I did leave out in the draft analysis video is the Z-Mons. Each team gets access to two Pokemon with access to Z-Mons. I forgot to mention which Mons were my Z-Mons, but as you can tell, hopefully, that my Z-Mons for my team are going to be Venomoth and Haxorus for the foreseeable future. So, overall, a pretty solid squad. Some Mons I've used, other Mons I haven't. So it's going to be just an instance of trying to get my feet wet with some of these Mons. And on top of that, it's a Showdown League, and it's been a while since I did anything Showdown related in terms of Draft League content. So I'm just trying to shake off the rust, but at the same time, just try to be casual, try to have some fun with some of these new Pokemon I drafted. And our week 1 opponent is going to be the New York Mews coach and their coach, Pokemaster Mike. I'm sorry, I meant the Pokemaster Mike. I could have fit the Z part in the name, so I apologize for that. His links and stuff will be in the description down below. Be sure to check him out. And it's pretty funny, considering it's the week 1 matchup, and you see the teams. You got the Miami Malamarlins against the New York Mews. You got the Miami Marlins versus the New York Mets. Got a little baseball NL East showdown going on. And we're also in the same division, too. So just add on to the irony of baseball. So it's even funny considering I'm actually from New York, so kind of funny facing a New York team like that. So, but that all aside, just want to jump right into the team builder of the battle here. So, as you see, my opponent's team consists of the Tapu Fini, Nidoking, Cobalion, Snorlax, Gligar, Ferroseed, Mega Alakazam, Kyurem, Drapion, Electros, and Entei, with his Z-Mons being the Cobalion and the Kyurem. So overall, a very, very solid squad. Has a lot of threats to my team. I feel as though I'm pretty well equipped in terms of matchup. I feel like it's pretty even. At the same time, I don't want to take anything for granted as well. So, like a couple of his mons can actually be a major pain to some of my teams. Some examples being Tapu Fini being a nuisance to stuff like Gallade and whatnot, but I'll run through that as we break down the team that I built for this battle. So let's just jump right into the team. So first and foremost, you see on your screen we have our Mega Gallade rocking Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, and Poison Jab with max HP, 80 attack, and 176 in speed. The speed lets me outspeed stuff like Jolly Max Speed Max Speed Kyurem, Max Speed Drapion, Adamant Entei, and everything slower than that. I could have sped Crep Cobalion, to be perfectly honest, but if I'm able to get up a bulk up on something, then unless he like crits like a Corkscrew Crash, then I really don't see how Cobalion's going to be able to break through my Mega Gallade after a bulk up. And looking at the coverage options on my Mega Gallade, like nothing on his team really wants to take the combination of Drain Punch, Ice Punch, and Poison Jab. Just run it down. Tapu Fini, Poison Jab, Nidoking, Ice Punch, Cobalion, Drain Punch, Snorlax, Drain Punch, Gligar, Ice Punch, Ferroseed, Drain Punch, Mega Alakazam if I get up a boost, Poison Jab because it's stronger than Ice Punch, Kyurem, Drain Punch, Drapion, Drain Punch, Electros, Drain Punch, Entei, Drain Punch. Like, he has no safe switch-ins, quote-unquote, but at the very least, Mega Gallade is looking like a very, very good win condition in this battle, especially if I'm able to weaken the Tapu Fini and I'm able to get up to at least +1, hopefully +2, and I can just break through his team with just Drain Punch and Ice Punch as the coverage options. Poison Jab, like I said, it's just there for Fini, nothing else on the team. So yeah, I decided to run the bulky option here just because I could have that added bulk to take some weaker hits for stuff like Gligar, set up on that. And yeah, that's pretty much more or less what I want to talk about with Mega Gallade here. A very solid win con in this battle for sure. So, moving on to the rest of my team here. Next up, we have the Slowbro here rocking the Assault Vest, and shoutouts to Jolt of the Tokumonori's for the idea in the last moveset, because I really didn't have anything in the last moveset I wanted to keep on Slowbro. The first thing that ran to my mind was Shadow Ball for Mega Alakazam. I also contemplated stuff like Grass Knot. I even went a little bit ballsy running Zap Cannon on Slowbro for the Fini, but he suggested in the end, why not go Facade? For that he went Foul Play, but he suggested Facade for a very, very funny and legitimate reason for this. That being, Slowbro is designed to be my dedicated switch into the Entei. If Entei burns me with Sacred Fire or statuses me on a Toxic on the switch, this Facade is going to do a crap ton of damage to any of its frail mons. Also rocking the Assault Vest because this also doubles as a pseudo check to the Mega Alakazam. Alakazam is pretty much the reason why Facade is on this set. If Slowbro is status and I get some prior damage, Facade is a 2-hit KO on Mega Alakazam, which is crazy. If he's running no bulk investment, obviously. If he does run some bulk, it's going to be more of a roll and we need some more chip damage. But overall, Assault Vest Slowbro just puts in a lot of work defensively for my team. Just a combination of Scald, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower does deal with a good portion of his team, not going to lie. Tapu Fini is an issue for this set, but at the same time, I'm not going to try to lose my Slowbro to deal with Tapu Fini in any sense of the word. This is the switch into stuff like Cobalion to Entei, Snorlax, quote unquote, Kyurem as well. As for my investment, I'm running enough special defense plus the Assault Vest, which allows me to avoid being 2 KO'd by a Mega Alakazam Shadow Ball from full, and the rest is just thrown to defense so that way I can better take those physical hits and I'm still not 2 KO'd by the combination of any attacks from an Adamant Choice Banded Entei whatsoever. So Slowbro looking very, very solid in this matchup, not going to lie. So let's move on to the next Pokemon on our team. We have the Venomoth here, with rocking the Bugginium Z, with Quiver Roost, Bug Buzz, and Sludge Bomb, running a bulky Venomoth for week 1 with max HP, 32 special attack, and 228 in speed with a timid nature. This gives me the jump on pretty much the same benchmarks as Gallade, let me outspeed like Drapion, Adamant Entei, all that stuff, and after a Quiver Dance boost, I outspeed his Mega Alakazam and pretty much his entire unboosted team, barring any potential Choice Scarfers or whatnot, in which I need to get to +2. So basically the idea is for Venomoth is to try to set up on something like Tapu Fini, unless he's like a super speedy variant trying to outspeed this kind of variant of Venomoth, which I'm not really expecting. But Venomoth does have the ability to force out Tapu Fini with a fearing of the Sludge Bomb. I can set up on stuff like, not even Cobalion, but it makes a very, very solid win con overall, just because of the fact that Bug Buzz plus Sludge Bomb does have a good amount of damage to everything on his team. Even resisted mons like Cobalion doesn't want to come and take a potential +1 Savage spin out from a Z Venomoth, especially considering you factor in Tinted Lens, which Cobalion doesn't even take a quarter damage, it takes half of the damage from the Z moves, and at +1 that's still doing a very, very good chunk to the Cobalion. So if I have the ability to get off the Z move, I will. But this also gives me a backup win con for the Mega Gallade. This also helps out against the Mega Gallade because it helps deal with stuff like Tapu Fini. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about the Venomoth. Next up, we have Mr. Boombastic, our Choice Scarf plus Cephalon, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, and Trick. Nothing really fancy about this set, just your run-of-the-mill Revenge Killer and Wall Breaker, quote unquote. Running enough speed to outspeed, I believe, his pretty much the same thing, actually, yeah. So stuff like a potential Scarf Drapion, Scarf Kira might outspeed that. Even Scarf Entei, Scarf Nidoking, any of those sort of sets. This does have a little bit of an issue with someone like Snorlax. I know for a fact that Snorlax is coming and it's going to be thick fat with Pursuit because of the fact that nothing else on this team really want to take a Fire Blast or a Shadow Ball from this Blacephalon set, and I know for a fact that Snorlax is coming. So I'm going to have to play very, very cautiously around that Snorlax, try to make some double predictions or whatnot. So again, a very straightforward set with this Blacephalon, nothing really much else to say in that regard. So moving on now to the last two Pokemon on our team, which is pretty much the rest of the bulk for this game. So we have our Ferrothorn here with Spikes, Leech Seed, Power Whip, and Gyro Ball with leftovers with max HP, 108 defense, 148 special defense with a sassy nature. And what this investment allows me to do, for the most part, with the added special defense investment at max HP, I avoid being one-hit KO'd by a Timid Choice Specs Hidden Power Fire from a Kyurem after Stealth Rock, and the rest is thrown into defense to better take on hits from the likes of Cobalion, Snorlax. Even if I know Fire Punch is a thing on Snorlax, but it's not going to one-shot me, is basically what I'm saying, unless there's like a Choice Banded set on that Snorlax, which I really, really doubt. So more or less this is, Ferrothorn is just designed to try to get up hazards as quick as possible. Leech Seed is just nice to spread around his entire team, as his Leech Seed immunity is the Ferro Seed, and as you can tell so far, my team can handle Ferro Seed pretty well, all things considered. So I can try to get up a Spike and make it easier for either my Venomoth or my Mega Gallade to try to just clean up in the late game. So that's pretty much all I want to say about Ferrothorn here. Again, nothing really fancy or whatnot going on there with the Ferrothorn. And lastly, we have our Crocodile rocking the Rocky Helmet, Stealth Rock, Taunt, Earthquake, and Knockoff. Again, very straightforward, standard Stealth Rocking Crocodile. Just gives me an opportunity to taunt his slower Pokemon like the Gligar, the Ferro Seed, whittle that thing down, get up Stealth Rocks, chip away at stuff like Entei, Tapu Fini will have to come in and defog if he does decide to bring Fini as a defogger in this matchup. But overall, I do like the team. I feel like the matchup is very, very even on both sides, so I'm gonna have to really like play my mind off, because like I said, I want to start the season with a win, but if I can't get it done, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to worry too much about that. Again, the speed, like I said, I forgot to mention the speed on Crocodile, just straightforward enough speed for the Nidoking, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. So that is a team builder for our first week in the PBL. So let's just switch on right over to the battle and see how we fared. So as you're going to see, here's a matchup we have here with my opponent, the Pokemaster Mike, is bringing the Ferro Seed Snorlax, excuse me, almost said Slowbro, Snorlax, Mega Alakazam, Tapu Fini, Entei, and the Kyurem. So yeah, this was pretty much more or less the team I kind of was expecting here. So the fact of the matter that I see the Ferro Seed and no other, no Gligar or nothing, this is scream at the Ferro Seed as a Stealth Rocker. So what I tried to do here, I'm going to be sped up a little bit because I tried recording this earlier and it just kept on messing up for God knows what reason. So what I'm going to do here, I want to lead off with my Crocodile, because what I felt like if you let off with the Ferro Seed, I can lead up with my Crocodile and immediately click Taunt turn 1, prevent him from getting up hazards on my side of the field. So with that in mind, I'm just trying to play it safe as I possibly can without making any mistakes. But as you're gonna see, or as I'm gonna tell you right now, there's already a mistake that happened in this battle before it even started, and it pretty much altered the direction of this battle for me, because for some reason, something was wrong with my Gallade, and the problem was the fact that I didn't notice this until I sent out my Gallade, but my Gallade wasn't rocking Poison Jab. For some odd reason, the team builder had it registered so Bulk Up appeared twice on my team builder. So instead of the team builder telling me, oh, your Gallade has Bulk Up listed twice in the moveset, it took the registration as, oh, you already have Bulk Up listed once, so we'll delete the second entry and it's make it seem as though Gallade has only 3 moves. So now that my Gallade has no Poison Jab, Fini comes in and walls me for days. So the only way I have to deal with Tapu Fini now is between my Ferrothorn and hope Fini is not HP Fire, and Venomoth, which can pretty much get worn down throughout the match if it gets up rocks between the combination of Entei and Kyurem and all that stuff. And even Mega Alakazam for that to have a Quiver Dance up. So getting out all that out of the way, now I'm going to lead off with my Crocodile, as I said, expecting him to lead off with the Pharaoh Seed, but he's going to make a good turn 1 here, and he's going to lead with Tapu Fini. So, right away, already on the back foot, not the way I wanted to start off the game, seeing a Tapu Fini staring me in the face with a Crocodile. So, I'm going to be forced to switch out turn 1 here, and I'm going to make the play and go out into my Venomoth here. As it goes for a Calm Mind, I do apologize that the sprites aren't showing. I was had some internet issues with my computer, so I go hard to my Venomoth here, and he's gonna go for a Calm Mind here, and I'm like, okay, so this is the type of game that we're gonna be playing with this Tapu Fini. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna start Quiver Dancing up alongside him with the Tapu Fini because I don't want to get blown back by a Tapu Fini from the outset. So he's gonna now go for the Surf, I believe. Yeah, he goes for Surf here. He does a good chunk to my Venomoth here. I'm gonna go for a Sludge Bomb, which is a good 2-hit KO here, but he goes for a Surf, and I believe at this point he's gonna switch out to Pharaoh Seed. I'm gonna go for the Roost, predicting him to switch out of the Tapu Fini. He's gonna make a play and double out into his Entei as I double into my Gallade on the predicted Stealth Rock from the Pharaoh Seed. So now I'm in a little bit of a predicament, but at the same time I do have a response to this Entei being the Slowbro. So I'm gonna go directly out to Slowbro. He makes a solid play, goes straight for the Toxic. So my Slowbro is now on a timer, but as I mentioned in the team builder, my Slowbro is running Facade, so this actually benefits my Slowbro considering the fact that my Facade is now boosted, so I can really do some damage to that Mega Alakazam whenever it comes out. So I don't want to reveal Facade just yet on this Slowbro. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go out into, he's going to go over to Tapu Fini, and I'm going to double out into Venomoth, expecting the Fini switching. So now he's going to go to Snorlax. I'm going to Quiver Dance up, and I believe I switch out into Crocodile here as he goes for the Fire Punch this turn. Take some Rocky Helmet damage. Now here, as I see leftovers here. Now here was the another mistake I made on my part. So I'm seeing leftovers on the Snorlax. I'm thinking it's a bulky Rest Talk Lax with like Curse and like Mono and like Crunch or what? Not even Crunch or what? Yeah, it's not even Crunch. It was more so the fact that I thought it was like, I didn't want to get the chance of him being like a potential Curse Lax set and him setting up, because I wouldn't try to go hard Blacephalon on a Snorlax. And as I said earlier, I'm expecting the Snorlax to be Thick Fat Pursuit for Blacephalon, so I don't even know why I was thinking that. So in that instance, instead of going for Stealth Rock this turn, I decided to go for a Taunt here, as he decides to go out into his Kyurem. So I could have gone for my Rocks this turn, but I didn't. So now he's going to make the play into his Tapu Fini. I'm going to go back into Slowbro, expecting him to go for like a Dragon move or whatnot. He's going to taunt my Venomoth so I can't Quiver Dance up alongside the Tapu Fini. He's going to go out into the Entei and do a good 34%, and he's going to get poisoned. So now for mistake number 3 on my part. So as you saw in the team builder, my Venomoth is designed to be faster than an Adamant Max Speed Entei and his base 95s, Jolly base 95s. So what I could have did this turn was just click my Z move, because it's not that I didn't need my Z move for anything else. And even if I used my Z move here, he would have just gone straight out to Alakazam, and I already would have been behind the 8 ball already, because my responses to Alakazam are decent-ish, but they're not foolproof, especially considering that the Alakazam can be packing Focus Blast for both my Ferrothorn and my Crocodile, so I took that into consideration. And I have a Poison Slowbro, albeit is at 94%. So what I should have did this turn was, I should have clicked my Z move, and because of Tinted Lens, Z Bug Buzz would have killed this Entei. The only way Entei would have lived is if he was max HP Assault Vest, and because he went for Toxic, he clearly wasn't Assault Vest. But what I end up doing is, I'm going to go out into my Slowbro for God knows what reason. He's going to double out into Alakazam, so I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Now I can reveal Facade. He traces my Regenerator, he goes for the Shadow Ball, do a good chunk, but he gets a special defense drop, which sucks. I go for Facade and I did 47%. I'm going to double out into my Crocodile as he makes a solid prediction, go for Dazzling Gleam, takes out my Crocodile. So, yeah, I'm sorry for like speeding up a little bit, but to backtrack a little, the special defense drop on Slowbro sucked tremendously, because what it meant was I couldn't stay in and take another Shadow Ball because my Slowbro would be gone, and Facade would not have killed the Mega Alakazam if I got a high roll. I got a pretty like mid-low roll on that Facade because I did Facade damage. I think it did like 46 to 55 on a no bulk Mega Alakazam, which it turned out it was. So what I should have did that turn was, I know I had to switch out of Slowbro, but what I should have done was, I should have made the play and gone out into my Ferrothorn, and then try to like scout for Hidden Power Fire or whatnot afterwards. But instead I made the aggressive, well, sort of aggressive play, but I sort of made a kind of predictable play into Crocodile, and he predicts that I go for Dazzling Gleam because he knew I would have to preserve my Slowbro at some point. If the special defense drop didn't happen, I would have just stayed in again and went for Facade, and everything would be fine. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. I went into my Crocodile got taken out by Dazzling Gleam. So this means I didn't get up rocks, and Crocodile's, because Crocodile is gone, his Alakazam is pretty much free to spam Psychic and Shadow Ball against my entire team, and Focus Blast or Hidden Power Fire for Ferrothorn if he does indeed have it. So what I'm going to do now, go out into my Blacephalon here, force this thing out. So the way I send out my Blacephalon, he has to know at this point I'm Choice Scarf. So I'm expecting the Snorlax to come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a double into my Mega Gallade here, as it does. I'm sorry. I'm thinking too far ahead. I make the double into Ferrothorn, expecting him to go for the Shadow Ball. So what I could do this turn afterwards now is I go for Elite Seed, because I know he won't go hard Ferro Seed on a Ferrothorn, but I also forgot that I forgot the Snorlax had Fire Punch. So I believe at this point I either stayed in with Ferrothorn or I made a double. Okay, I stayed in on the Fire Punch and I went for Elite Seed, I believe. Yeah, I went for Elite Seed on the Snorlax and trying to wear this thing down. So now what I'm going to do is, I believe is he goes on Mega Alakazam, I'm going to double into Slowbro. Now here I could have went for Facade again, and he doesn't need Shadow Ball, but the problem was he traced my Ferrothorn's Iron Barbs, so if I went for Facade, it would have made physical contact and would have taken damage, so I went to sack off my Venomoth on the Shadow Ball here, which sucks. I lost a Tapu Fini response. Now I make the play and trick the Snorlax, the Choice Scarf, when I should have just went on to my Gallade. But the problem was, like I said earlier, my Gallade wasn't rocking Poison Jab, so whenever Gallade comes in, he goes on to Fini, he walls me. So there's a problem in and of itself. I'm going to just sack off my Blacephalon to the Snorlax as it goes for the pursuit, takes out my Blacephalon. I now go out into my Gallade. This turn, I believe I go straight for a bulk up on the Fini switching. So yeah, I went for a bulk up here, and I'm expecting him to go for like so I'm expecting the poison jab here. So I bulked up again, cause I know I gotta take a Moonblast from this thing. So yeah, so I take it 60%, and I think now he's gonna sack off the Snorlax, pretty much, to scout for the poison jab, which unfortunately I didn't have. So he goes back into Fini here. I'm forced to go out into my Ferrothorn here to go for the Moonblast. So just to backtrack a little bit, so you see how he went back into Fini on my Gallade and he stayed in. So pretty much, and I already told him afterwards that my Gallade only had 3 moves, like in the chat. So if I had Poison Jab and my Gallade was at +2 at that point, the only way he would have been able to beat me, he would have to go Alakazam, get a high roll with Dazzling Gleam. I would Drain Punch all that health back, and everything else on this team was Drain Punch fodder. I could have potentially won the game right there. Unfortunately, as I've already stressed multiple times, because my Gallade didn't have a reliable way to hit this type of Fini, this was pretty much a losing battle, because as you're going to see, my Ferrothorn is now below half. He still has his Entei, and he still has his Mega Alakazam, and a Kyurem, which can just blow back the rest of my team. My Slowbro does not mean a thing right now because it's toxic. It's at a pretty low health, even after Regenerator is taken into effect. So I believe what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for a Power Whip as he does go out into his Entei. I could have made the double into Slowbro or Gallade, but I didn't really feel like at that point was necessary. And now I'm pretty much just strapped because now I don't have a switch. My switch in the Sacred Fire is pretty much down. I'm forced to try to keep my Slowbro as healthy as possible with Regenerator, so I'm going to sack off my my Ferrothorn on the Sacred Fire here. He goes for a Taunt on my Slowbro. I go for Facade, I did 19%. That did pitiful damage to this type of Fini, and Facade unfortunately is my best move to hit the Fini with, as he goes for Moonblast, takes out my Gallade, my Slowbro, excuse me, my last Pokemon being Mega Gallade, and I just keep firing out Drain Punches, and we're going to lose this game, unfortunately, 4-0 to the New York Mews and the Pokemaster Mike. So yeah, so good game, man. I'm not gonna lie, this was a pretty poorly played game on my part. Not gonna lie, it was like man, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like the matchup was fine, but the way I played was anything far from fine. It was pretty atrocious on my end, especially considering I made so many mistakes in that battle. Not even the 3 moves Gallade was an issue. I could take out the Entei a lot sooner. I could have got up rocks with my Crocodile. Like, there were so many factors, like there were so many things I could have did differently in this game that I wish I did, but unfortunately I didn't because of my sort of passive nature at times. I made aggressive plays, but I made aggressive plays at the wrong time and against the wrong Pokemon. That was pretty much it. Like, me going for a trick with Blacephalon on the Snorlax made no sense because I needed my choice scarf to outbeat the Alakazam. Once I tricked away my scarf, I had nothing faster than Alakazam, so that was a big misplay. So yeah, everything was like, the team was fine. The way I played it, not so much. It was pretty bad. Not gonna sugarcoat anything about that. So again, GG to the Pokemaster Mike. He played a exceptional game in this battle. I'm not gonna take anything away from him. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, feel free to leave a like, check out my opponent. And that's gonna be it from me, guys. Again, hope you guys enjoyed, and until the next time, this is Tone, signing out for now. Peace out.